Hi, today I'm going to show you how to work the welt detail that appears in the sweater Rev, which is from booklet 290, Vintage Arts and Crafts, which was new for fall 2009. It also appears in the Free Barocco pattern Gainsbourg, which is a t-shirt that is available through our Knit Bits newsletter or on our website. So when you work this welt, you're casting on to work the upper bodice of the sweaters. Here's your neck edge, and you're going to work downwards. It's sort of upside down way of working the sweater, kind of top down. And you're going to bind off at a certain point, and this is where we're going to work our welt. We need to pick up stitches. I have a contrast color here so you can see what I'm doing. We need to pick up stitches all the way across this bound off edge. So we have another video if you need help picking up stitches. I won't go into too much detail here. But we do have another video that gets into detail about how to pick up stitches. It's kind of a tricky thing for some knitters, so yeah, I will finish this and get right back to you. Okay, so as you can see, I've picked up all my stitches along the bound off edge, and I've worked a little bit of stockinette stitch and then eyelet row, which is just yarn overs and knit two togethers. In this pattern, you have a little picot that's formed by that eyelet row. In the free pattern Gainsbourg, it's just more of a simple welt, and that's just a few rows of stockinette that you get. You fold it up and it makes a nice prominent ridge. So after you fold it up, what you're going to do is you're going to turn the work so that it's facing you this way, kind of the wrong sides are facing you. And you're going to take a spare needle. Actually, I don't even think you need a spare needle for this right here, but sorry. I like to do this with a smaller size needle too, just to keep things kind of neat, keeps the stitches from getting too stretched out. So with the wrong sides facing each other and the picot folded up like that, you're going to insert your needle in the first stitch on this needle, and what you're going to try and do is pick up one stitch, the first green stitch that you see, basically. I like to pick up in the purl bump the ones that look like smiles when they're facing you this way, because I feel like there's a little bit of space where the new stitch that you're knitting together, what you're going to do is, I'll just try it right here. This is probably not the right one to do, but I'll show you. You're sticking your needle there, you're wrapping, this is hard to do while I'm filming myself too, you're drawing through a new loop, oops, and then knitting it together with the stitch on the needle, and then knitting it off. So that unites the hem right here that you've made, the little welt, and it kind of just nestles nicely into that pearl ridge right there. But I have an extra trick for this. To make it easier, I'll show you what I do. Okay, so as promised, I have a little bit of a trick for making this welt unification a little easier. What I do is I take a spare needle, and in this case I just have another straight. I think it's a good idea to always use a smaller size for picking up. So I want to find those purl bumps. In this case I've turned the work upside down, so instead of looking for the ones that look like smiles, I'm going to find the ones that look like rainbows, which are of course just those stitches upside down. And sorry to make it so childish, but that's what they look like. And so in this case I'm going to go from the top of that rainbow purl bump downward. That just keeps the stitch oriented in a nice way for when you knit your stitches together later. So I'm just going down through the top of that purl bump, just putting them on the needle, not knitting anything just yet. That'll come later. So I'll finish this up. Okay, so you can see that I've picked up all those stitches onto a needle. They're just kind of, that's a placeholder right now, and I'm ready to knit these together. So I fold my picot hem again. I'm just kind of doing almost like a 3-needle bind off. So I'm knitting, I have my needle through the first stitch, and I'm knitting the stitch that I have on the spare needle. This is all a little easier when you're not filming. Okay, knit those off together. And knit. Knit those off. Oops. So needle in through the front, in the back, knit together and off. So you're turning those 2 stitches into one, and your hem is right there. I'm just going to finish this row, show you what it looks like. Okay, so you can see that I've got my welt joined. It's really nice and clean in the back here. Yeah, and it's kind of, because we knit this a little bit longer, this stockinette, it's going to stand this way, which is what I wanted for the sweater. So you can experiment with different things, see what you like. Again, you could get a really cute detail like in the Gainsbourg tee just by knitting a few stockinette rows and then turning and joining, just like we said. It's going to be a lot more subdued. And yeah, then you just basically keep knitting down in stockinette this way. So your work is going to be top down, which is nice if you don't know how long you would like your sweater. You can just keep knitting until it fits you.